All right, guys, I'm back with another vlog. For all you people that have been watching, thank you for giving me the time and energy. I know this is kind of random, all of this stuff. Like make. What do you do, Dev? Like, it's always that question. What the fuck are you doing with your life, dude? I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to explain it through conversations I have with my friends, my colleagues, business partners, artists I work with, producers I work with, DJs, venues, promoters, everyone, right? Because like I want to figure this shit out. Because if we don't talk about it and figure it out, then we won't actually get it done. So I'm here with my good friend, business partner, Aaron Athwal. Aaron, just give a quick introduction, real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. Just being in the music industry for quite some time now. Always just trying to help artists make money. End goal all the time is just help artists make money, right? This is a labor of love for a lot of people, and if we can help assist them any way we can, that's what we're here to do. So the quickest like real world example that's like pressing for everyone is touring, right? Everyone has a tough time selling tickets, and that's no one's fault, right? There's economies of scale in different cities have different reasons. People's reach is different. There's so many reasons why people are having a hard time selling tickets. But one thing what we do is we always look at like why aren't people buying tickets, right? When people are usually fans of artists, these artists that are getting booked by promoters and do have good management teams, they have the right intention, right? People know people want to see them live, but why aren't they executing selling the ticket, right? We can get into like the Live Nation side of it and not be able to share that data, but that's something that no one can control. So that's not something that we should even be concerned with. We want to think about what else exists across like these other distribution platforms, like you mentioned, the streaming side, the social side, the CRM side. What data exists within those verticals that can really help someone, sell their tickets, right? Right now, like touring and like music streaming, they live in silos. People don't think that's important to really look at each other. Yeah, you might look at your top 10 cities on Spotify and say, hey, that's the type of cities I want to go touring, which sort of makes sense. But where's the in between layer, right? How are you actually going to find the people from those top 10 cities to communicate with them to go and buy their tickets, right, for their show? So, what we try to do as marketers, like, let's try to find those people. Let's have the hard data against it. Let people stream. Let's let that be an indicator of what cities we should look at. From there, try to find ways through advertising, through organic social posts to get that data back from the fans. What does that mean? Get their emails and phone numbers and really know how old they are, what cities they live in, get their full on demos so you can have a better picture of like, this does exist. We know there's a market there. There's some validation. Now, how do we find more and more people like them or like look-alike audiences, more people like them to now talk to them directly and let them know this is happening, right? 99% of the time when it comes to music, people don't know things are happening and it's no one's fault. It's not the fans' fault, nor it's the artist's fault, right? There's a lot of noise. Distribution's free, but to really break that barrier, you do have to pay for it. And that's what like advertising does at a really high level is find the right people that will actually care about whatever action you want them to take. So back to what you're saying is like we have to look at the data across all these platforms and find a way to unify it, right?
Yeah.
To get that one like unique identifier of that person. And usually that's an email phone number. It's always to the bottom of that funnel. But understanding that they might not directly talk to each other, all these platforms, but what tools exist to really string all that network together. And they are, right? And that's what we're working on it. And that's what we do for artists. So when we do come in, we do have the ability to like help move the ticket sales, right? We see the ticket routes on a daily basis change. It's not only because of us, right? It's a team effort, right? The content the artist creates, the type of fan base that already exists, but we're just trying to tie it all together, right? Get people to listen to music, to remember them, feel some type of emotion, let them know, hey, now look, there's a show happening. If you're interested, here's a link, here's a cost. Now I'm coming to your city, right? It's this constant funnel. So yeah, just trying to get people to really think about, not just like numbers on a spreadsheet, but make those numbers actionable too, right? And realize that they all are important, right? What happens on Facebook, what happens on Instagram, to TikTok, to YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Tidal, to your email provider, all of it's important, but you got to make sure you know how to interpret it and actually use that data. And unfortunately, like you said, it's all siloed. No one thinks it should be
Yeah.
talking to each other.
So yeah, no, that's a really good practical example of how you can look at the data from a touring perspective and how you can use our services to kind of find the angle, find the people to actually buy tickets, right? Another thing that we've done that we've learned that we can really drive value for artists with is pushing catalog, and pushing multiple songs, multiple projects all at the same time instead of just one song at a time, one release at a time. But we've learned that if you push this always on strategy, you have, ads going all the time, within reason, and you're pushing a catalog, you're able to get more value out of your dollars, right? Aaron, you and I have been working those tactics for a while. Tell me, about how you look at that, and how we get artists, more bang for their buck essentially when we push that way. And we see that in the data, we see that in the algorithm kicking on all platforms. But tell us what your
Yeah, we
experience is
believe
with
in like
that.
an always on catalog marketing strategy because not everyone likes every single song, right? Not everyone will like every piece of content you do. When I say not everyone likes it, doesn't mean they hate it. It didn't like trigger them to want to do more, right? To click out, right? Click out into a landing page, click a link, hit stream, hit save, right? Those extra steps. So if you do it at scale and you do it across multiple things, you find different audiences, right? You can segment the personas. This person likes this type of music that I create. This person likes this type of content when I post it. So that end of the day, it's just more data, right? And you funnel it down to that data point, like we're saying about like tour marketing, or when it comes to selling merch, you need to provide people options to like you, right? And if you do it, the algorithm starts finding the people that like certain things again and again. They start doing the work for you, right? They find the people that like that type of music, or like that type of look, or like that type of video, or like that type of tone, or whatever it is. But more you have of it, the better it is to segment it out, because we are all different, and all the fans are different. They're not a monolith, right? They're very different. So having this always on strategy, you're basically just A/B testing constantly, right? And the A/B testing will eventually lead to like hard data if you put people down the funnel correctly.
Yeah, we essentially, the way Meta works now, we essentially plug in a bunch of content that we deem is worthy. Sometimes it's like an artist's whole catalog. It could be 5, 10, 15, 20 songs, and let Meta find the people that are most interested in that music. And it's good. It's a good thing because, like Aaron said, not everyone is going to be interested or find the first song that they see as the best song. It might take 3 or 4 or 5 songs to also become a fan of an artist, like directly, right? Instead of just the song itself, right? So we think that these tactics are better for driving artist discovery. They're better for actually creating new fans, or finding new fans. And then as you're pushing all these things, you can use Meta to like find it in different regions, what songs are working in different regions. And so we kind of, right now, a lot of it's manual. We work to automate all this stuff, but we look at all this data, we look at the different inflows, and we try to make inferences on where and why something is happening, so that we can actually go recreate in other places. And then we double down on certain places and certain songs that are working in certain places, to actually create more momentum, more community in these places, and find more opportunities for revenue at the end of the day around the world. So yeah, there you have it. Aaron, thank you for your time, and I'm sure you'll be talking on these podcasts or these vlogs quite often. So if you guys have any questions for Aaron, just reach out to him. You can he's probably somewhere in the comments. I'll leave his Instagram, I'll leave his email somewhere. Reach out to him, reach out to me, reach out to anyone that I feature. Feel free to do business with them. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Peace. All right. We good.